But go ahead, brother.
Ezekiel 46 verse 1. Thus saith the Lord power, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days.
Right. So on working days, that particular gate was shut. You couldn't go in there when it was work day. When it was a work day. Go ahead.
But on the Sabbath it shall be opened.
On the Sabbath it shall be opened. So any Sabbath, right, of the month, that particular gate was open. Only on the Sabbath, not on the work days. Go ahead.
And in the day of the new moon.
And in the day of the new moon. Why? Because the new moon is a Sabbath. If the new moon wasn't a Sabbath, why was this particular gate open on the new moon when it said that the working days, that particular gate was supposed to be closed? Read that again, brother, from the top.
Thus saith the Lord power, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days.
Right there, the 6 working days, this particular gate of the inner court, right, and the temple was supposed to be closed on the 6 working days. Go ahead.
But on the Sabbath it shall be open.
But on the Sabbath it shall be open. Anytime the Sabbath came around, this was supposed to be left open. Go ahead.
And in the day of the new moon.
And in the day of the new moon, go ahead.
It shall be open.
It shall be open. Why? Because the new moon is also a Sabbath.
Right.
Go ahead.
And the prince shall enter by the way of the porch of that gate without, and shall stand by the post of the gate.
Go ahead.
And the priests shall prepare his burnt offering and his peace offerings, and he shall worship at the threshold of the gate.
Go ahead.
Then he shall go forth, but the gate shall not be shut until the evening.
Right, because at that evening that was a working day. So anytime the Sabbath came around, this gate was open. But when it was not a Sabbath, when it was a working day, it would be closed. One more verse, brother.
Likewise, the people of the land shall worship at the door of this gate before the Lord in the Sabbaths and in the new moon.
In the Sabbaths and in the new moons. Why? Because the new moons, every new moon was also a Sabbath. All right, so now let's go from there to the book of 1 Samuel, the 20th chapter. 1 Samuel, the 20th chapter. We're going to try to see if we can read this whole chapter. It's a good, good chapter. This is dealing with King David. Well, it's actually David before he became king. King Saul and Jonathan.
1 Samuel chapter 20 verse 1.
Go ahead.
And David fled from Naioth in Ramah, and came and said before Jonathan, What have I done? What is mine iniquity? And what is my sin before thy father, that he seeketh my life?
Right, this was Saul. He wanted to kill King David because the Lord put an evil spirit on Saul. And he knew in the spirit that King David was going to be the next king. Or he knew that David was going to be the next king. So the Lord put a demonic spirit on King Saul, and he was trying to kill David. Go ahead.
And he said unto him, The Most High forbid, thou shalt not die. Behold, my father will do nothing, either great or small, but that he will show it me. And why should my father hide this thing from me? It is not so. And David sware moreover and said, Thy father certainly knoweth that I have found grace in thine eyes. And he saith, Let not Jonathan know this, lest he be grieved. But truly as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, there is but a step between me and death. Then said Jonathan unto David, Whatsoever thy soul desireth, I will even do it for thee. And David said unto Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is the new moon.
Tomorrow is the new moon. Go ahead.
And I shall not fail to sit with the king at meat.
Go ahead.
But let me go, that I may hide myself in the field unto the 3rd day at even.
Right, because you had the new moon, which is the beginning of the month, and then that's what started the month. So he said, and David said unto Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. But let me go, that I may hide myself in the field unto the 3rd day at even. See, because the 3rd day was the third day after the new moon, because the new moon is what governs the month. Go ahead.
If thy father at all miss me, then say, David earnestly asked leave of me, that he might run to Bethlehem his city. For for there is a yearly sacrifice there for all the family. If he say thus, it is well, thy servant shall have peace. But if he be very wroth, then be sure that evil is determined by him. Therefore thou shalt deal kindly with thy servant, for thou hast brought thy servant into a covenant of the Lord with thee. Notwithstanding, if there be in me iniquity, slay me thyself. For why shouldest thou bring me to thy father? And Jonathan said, Far be it from thee, for if I knew certainly that evil were determined by my father to come upon thee, then would not I tell it thee. Then said David to Jonathan, Who shall tell me? Or what if thy father answer thee roughly? And Jonathan said unto David, Come, and let us go out into the field. And they went out both of them into the field. And Jonathan said unto David, O Lord, power of Israel, when I have sounded my father about tomorrow any time, or the third day, and behold, if there be good toward David, and I then send not unto thee, and show it thee, the Lord do so, and much more to Jonathan. And if it please my father to do thee evil, then I will show it thee, and send thee away, that thou mayest go in peace, and the Lord be with thee, as he hath been with my father. And thou shalt not only while yet I live show me the kindness of the Lord, that I die not. But also thou shalt not cut off thy kindness from my house forever. No, not when the Lord hath cut off the enemies of David, every one from the face of the earth. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, Let the Lord even require it at the hand of David's enemies. And Jonathan caused David to swear again, because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul. Then Jonathan said to David, Tomorrow is the new moon.
Tomorrow is the new moon. Now pay attention. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be missed, because thy seat will be empty.
Right, because David wasn't going to come to this gathering here, right? Because the new moon was coming in, which is the first day, and he wasn't going to be sitting at the king's table to eat. Go ahead.
And when thou hast stayed 3 days,
And when thou hast stayed 3 days, go ahead.
then thou shalt go down quickly and come to the place where thou didst hide thyself when the business was in hand, and shall remain by the stone Ezel. And I will shoot 3 arrows on the side thereof, as though I shot at a mark. And behold, I will send a lad, saying, Go find out the arrows. If I expressly say unto the lad, Behold, the arrows are on this side of thee, take them, then come thou, for there is peace to thee, and no hurt, as the Lord liveth. But if I say thus unto the young man, Behold, the arrows are beyond thee, go thy way, for the Lord hath sent thee away. And as touching the matter which thou and I have spoken of, behold, the Lord be between thee and me forever. So David hid himself in the field. And when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat.
Right, so David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat. Right? On the new moon. Go ahead.
And the king sat upon his seat, as at other times, even upon a seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty.
Right, and David's place was empty. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day.
Right, the day of the new moon. Go ahead.
For he thought something hath befallen him.
Something hath befallen him. Go ahead.
He is not clean.
He is not clean.
Surely he is not clean.
Surely he is not clean. So why did he say that? Because the new moon is the first day of the month. It's a Sabbath. So if he wasn't clean, he couldn't come before the king to eat. So that's why he said, look, he is not clean. Surely he is not clean. Go ahead.
And it came to pass on the morrow.
And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the day after the new moon. Go ahead.
Which was the second day of the month.
Which was the second day of the month. All right. Go ahead.
That David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, Wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meet, neither yesterday nor today?
Right. So this shows you that the new moon is the first day of the month. Then you have the second day of the month. And why was King David not there, even though it wasn't because he was clean or not clean. But why did Saul say that? Because if he was clean, he could have ate. If he wasn't clean, so it was an actual Sabbath that day. It was a Sabbath that day of the new moon, and there's times where you couldn't sell on the Sabbath. So there was times when them wicked niggas wanted the new moon to be gone and the Sabbaths to be gone so that they can sell their corn and continue their wickedness. All right, but that's pretty much it on that. I mean, you brothers can read the rest of the chapter on your own.
You want Leviticus 23 again?
Before you go there, go to Psalms 81 and 1. Hit a few more scriptures and then because this topic isn't too complicated, so we're gonna hit a few more scriptures and then end it with that, just so you brothers can get the idea of the new moon. All right, Psalms 81 and 1.
Psalms 81 verse 1. Sing aloud unto the Most High our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the power of Jacob. Take a psalm and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with the psaltery. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon.
Blow up the trumpet in the new moon. Go ahead.
In the time appointed on our solemn feast day.
Go ahead.
For this was a statute for Israel.
For this was a statute for Israel. Go ahead.
And a law of the power of Jacob.
And the law of the power of Jacob. So on the new moon, you were supposed to blow the trumpet. It was also a Sabbath. It was also the beginning of the month. You got something?
Well, I was gonna get something dealing with the head of all new moons.
Okay.
The memorial blowing up the trumpets.
Right. All right. We can go there. That I was gonna go. Yeah, you could go there. That's Leviticus 23 and 23.
All right.
That's the spirit.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath.
Right. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, right? That says 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall you have a what?
A Sabbath.
A Sabbath. So the first day of the month is a Sabbath.
Yeah, which is the new moon.
Which is a new moon.
Right.
But then you have these dickheads that'll say, well, no, that was a feast day. Nigga, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. The first day of the month is a Sabbath, you jackass. That's why you couldn't sell on the Sabbath. That's why the door of the temple was closed on the 6 working days. But on the Sabbath and on the new moon, it was open. Why is that? Yeah, it's simple. It's that simple. And go ahead and what?
All right. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation.
And holy convocation, and that's it. That's plain.
Right.
That is plain. Now you got this one dickhead, false prophet 666, that says, and even Abu, that cocksucker, saying, "Oh, why do you guys have floating Sabbaths?" Give me the book of Daniel. I believe it's 8:25, is it, or 7:25? He said they saying, why do we have floating Sabbath? In other words, why did the Sabbath come in? Let's say for this month, the Sabbath is Saturday to Sunday, right? Which is actually Sunday is the new moon. Then the next week, the Sabbath might come in Monday to Tuesday, right? Which Tuesday. So they're saying, why do you have floating Sabbaths? Why do you have the Sabbath is supposed to run consecutively, right? So why do you have one month your Sabbath falls on a Sunday and the next month it might fall on a Tuesday? Well, that's very simple mathematics. Because Esau's time period is not our time period.
That's right.
Right now we're going by Esau's calendar, which is the Gregorian calendar, which goes back all the way to the Julian calendar. And that's not our calendar.
Right.
That's not the Hebrew calendar. You see, that's why you have floating Sabbaths.
It's not even based on the moon. It's based on the sun.
Exactly.
Because they're sun worshippers.
Right, because they're sun worshippers.
Right.
Now go ahead.
7:25.
Okay, good. Read that.